If I was at this stage when I was 28 or 30, I don't think I'd be as into it. I mean, and there are some people like that. I mean, some people who have just started up or just become successful when they are 28 and everything. I think I'm glad I'm getting this part over and done with now.
So you ask, gee, Stu, just how big are Tears for Fears? Well, Songs from the Big Chair is still shipping in the tens of thousands every week, and the momentum should keep building well into mid-'86. Now, after a short break from the marathon tour, they are heading back into the studio to record a new album. This is part 2 of Good Rockin's Talk with Kurt Smith and Roland Orzabal.
I'm into this as a job now. I really am, totally. Right. And I want to make it work. And I find that the more work you put in every area, the more the end result is representative of you. If you kind of miss out on things like, I'll get some video director to make you a fancy video, or get somebody else to mix your record, or I don't really know what to wear in that photograph session, then you end up going, my God, I didn't know I looked like that, and oh, I hate that end result. It's just a matter of control and make sure that what comes across is you, and not that you're being mistranslated.
The main thing is to carry on doing something that you enjoy doing. You know, once it ceases to be that, then you should give up. Now I'm still really enjoying myself.
Kurt, let me ask you, while you were recording the album Songs from the Big Chair, were there any particular songs on it that you both thought were going to be obvious hits?
There were any. Actually, I Believe was one, The Working Hour, Mother's Talk. Funnily enough, the two that we had disagreements about was Shouting Everybody Wants to Rule the World. But that, when I say we did with Roland. Because Roland doesn't have an ear for an immediate hit, right? He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that ear. I mean, he has the way of being able to write an immediate hit, but he doesn't have the ear to be able to say that is an immediate hit, which is really funny. I mean, it is a funny way to be when you're sitting there going, this is obviously, you know, it's like, this is a hit record. What are you talking about? And those are the two that he wasn't sure about. Work around an audience because they're the people that come to see you, and it's you. It is entertainment. You are there to fire them, and vice versa. But you have to know how to do it each night because certainly in each country you go to it, they react in a different way. In England, like in Europe, you can get them excited by just moving a lot. In England, they get more excited when you're like friendly to them, you know, and like chat sort of like very homely to them and things. So it's a different reaction everywhere.
No, I wouldn't consider England. I mean, England's very reserved, and we get a Radio 1, Top of the Pops type audience. You go out there and do as professional show as you can. I just find that in Europe, the pace of the gigs, because there's a lot of mood changes within the gigs, and that the audience actually felt everything we were doing. Here, they're still a bit kind of overwhelmed. So they're trying to let us know all the time that they're enjoying it by making a lot of noise, even in the quiet numbers and everything.
We don't go too far because we don't want to create real hysteria, because that doesn't become as much fun. I'd rather work with an audience and to an audience that you feel kind of a part of, as opposed to trying to set yourself too far above them and to cause a kind of hysteria where you could be in trouble. You know?
We had that problem when we started in England 2 years ago. And since then, through taking a step back in profile at times, we've left the more teeny bop elements of the audience behind, and we've now got what we consider the right kind of audience, which is slightly older. And it'll be interesting to see if that happens in Canada or if it still keeps up.
I don't understand how people could idolise someone they've never met, or idolise someone full stop anyway, you know. And you cannot react on a one-to-one level with a lot of them, because if you went out and said hello, they can't treat you as anyone normal, which I find extremely strange and hard to cope with at times.